Hello and welcome to the second race on the F1 calendar, a race that is known as the Bahrain Grand Prix, a track made in 2004 and then revamped or taken off the calendar, I believe, from 2010 and came back in 2012 after cancellation in 2011. As we saw last week, we were in Australia where Jakey B won the F1 race nice and clearly, followed up by Logic, then Clenzo, who ran the cleanest of races. After a major crash, we saw Shadow get taken out near the start, as well as a couple of other retirements, leaving some drivers pointless. Moving on to the teams, as we saw Jakey and Clenzo putting Demonic Gaming right up to the top with a full 40 points and putting them in a strong lead. Versatile Racing coming in second with 26 points, and Team Zhu, even though one driver was present, getting a lovely 15 points. But with this race coming up, that can all change. With only the first race done, we have 16 more races to go. This track in itself is beautiful as always. 15 turns with a beautiful complexity of corners, some hard, some soft, some long, some short, and definitely opportunity to really ruin your tyres, especially in turn 9 and turn 10. Bahrain is a 3.36 mile track with the first straight topping an F1 car at 208 miles per hour before heading into turn 1, where drivers will drop down to first gear, hugging the apex of the turn before accelerating out of the corner through turn 2, cutting as much as the corner as they can, heading down the first DRS zone, reaching 197 miles an hour, a short braking zone down to second into the third corner, not necessarily taking too much of the apex. Through turn 4 is flat out, but a dab of the brake is needed into turn 5 as we enter the S section, which is continued in turn 6. Dropping down to third gear, trying to get as close to the apex as you can, a short run then down to turn 8. As you have to brake mid-corner to turn 9 at common place where you can lock your front left tyre. Keeping it close to the apex in the first gear before heading down the next straight containing the second DRS zone. Reaching speeds of 198 miles an hour, you'll need to brake into turn 10, which is a long left turn, before a quick brake into turn 12, dropping to fourth gear, getting onto the long straight, achieving speeds of 197 miles an hour. Though this straight does not have DRS, it is an important straight and an opportunity for overtakes to happen, before braking into the final corner, dropping down to fourth gear and exiting to the start-finish straight where the final DRS zone will start. Hello and welcome back to the SRC. Today we are joined and welcomed finally by Ben. Ben, how are you doing today?
I feel great. It is brilliant to be here. It's brilliant to be here for this fantastic season, and I'm so looking forward to the rest of the year after a great opener in Australia.
For those who don't know, Ben was actually scheduled to be the main shoutcaster or commentator. I'm so used to calling it shoutcaster through CS. But main commentator of the SRC. I had to take his place because you were ill, so I'm glad you're back. Now, you were watching the races, weren't you?
I caught bits and pieces, yeah.
So were you watching Bahrain?
I was watching Bahrain. Well, I'm going to be leading the commentator for it, mate.
Oh, not Bahrain. Sorry, Australia. Sorry.
It's fine. As I said to you before, I only caught bits and pieces, unfortunately, but I did see some of the more major incidents, mainly through Twitter. So, of course, as we get the cat out of the bag early, the accident between Aero Viper and some other people. It's one of those things. It was a racing incident, in my opinion, and it kind of got blown out of proportions a little bit. But now we move on to Bahrain and what should be a very, very exciting Grand Prix.
It does seem to be a very exciting Grand Prix. Of course, we've kind of like got a baseline, haven't we, to the driver potential. As I mentioned in the kind of opening pre-recorded section, Demonic Racing? Name's gone straight in my head. They put up a really good start and were a surprise to Miles. Are they a surprise to you?
Especially with their driver quality, I think they put on a very good performance.
And of course, there are some very big names. Who do you think's got the potential to maybe top today's race. Of course, we are minusing one just to again put it out there. Of course, Shadow is not racing due to an external incident. But who do you think out of the rest of the drivers are potential of winning?
Well, this is very much a pad track. This is the ultimate pad track, as it is known. So drivers like BDG Pancakes, TSR Marvin, Biro Perondi, both Biro Perondi and Biro Sara, definitely, especially Sierra. I've seen him absolutely destroy drivers around this track. For example, in a league called Legacy Championship Racing, or LCR, he won by 27 seconds here in his first ever race. This is Sierra's track. Hero Viper as well. I know I shouldn't cheer for my own because that is biased, but
yeah, don't cheer for your own.
Definitely be very, very dangerous here today. And Shazoo Ewan could also pull a very big surprise out the back of it, and of course, never will at VSR.
Very good. And now, who do you think maybe are the underdogs? Now, there are a couple. As I said, there's a couple of names in here that are very underdoggy. We've got some of the Brazilian players from BRL and all that. Are they potentials to possibly crack at a top 10 and get some points in?
I could see perhaps the FCT duo making a very good statement here. Ice-T as well has definitely got a chance of cracking a top 10. And as I said previously, you can't look past Jonas or Antoine. So certainly be a very good result here.
That's very good. Drivers are just readying up right now, so not too long till we get started. Any last pointers? What would the drivers be looking out for while they're racing? Anything in particular?
Well, one thing that is the Satan's breath of this track is if you lose the braking boards. Say down to turn 1, there's a big accident. If you lose the braking boards for turn 1, you're completely screwed. It's the same with the final corner. It is genuinely going to be the bane in these guys' existence if those braking boards go by. Of course, this is a completely no assist league. It is all restricted, so these drivers really need to be on their queue for braking points. Turn 10 as well, breaking down there. Big lockups are very easy to do. See how it goes.
I was about to mention about the lockup. It's going to definitely wear out being a clockwise track. Definitely wear out the front right, but actually it's going to wear out the front left because the heavy braking zones are usually left-handers, aren't they?
Especially around here, mainly with turn 10 and turn.
It's gone out, yeah.
I was running around the track quickly, but I'd say it's time to be moving on then.
Yes, so we'll be handing, instead of me being commentating, it will be Ben and Miles commentate today. Miles, how you doing?
I'm very fine today. I'm really looking forward to this race and the quality, of course.
Any class people you think will do well? Any people? Just a quick one.
Yeah, Ben mentioned Sarah, and that's who's my bet goes on for today.
Rightio, as we head over to the race, your commentators, Ben and Miles.
Yes, so thank you very much, Hyper, for your brilliant introduction to this race. So yes, we are here for Bahrain. We're here for round 2. It's a very, very good start to the season in Australia, but Miles, well, here in Bahrain, what are your thoughts on the track?
I mean, it's a very, very nice track to begin with. A lot of overtaking opportunities, which I hope we will see from the guys racing today. So packed grid, 20 drivers, and the strategy will come into play because I think most of those guys will opt for the red soft tire, like we see Sarah going out right now. It will be crucial for the guys out of the top 10, like from P11 onwards. They will most likely start on the medium tires and go on to the hards, like it was the case in 2019. So a lot of things to look out for and a lot of things that will be very interesting to see as the race will start.
Yeah, certainly so. A little bit of mixed strategy. Now, mediums to hards on the last game was definitely the preferred strategy. However, on this game, you're not given a set of hard tyres. So instead of waiting out the entire session, it's honestly just a better idea just to qualify on the soft compound of tyres. The only driver who has selected the medium tyres is TSR Marvin. However, the expectation is more than likely they will attempt to qualify on the softs. As Discord beeps in my ear. We are just seeing drivers out. So we have Visira, we have ST Maurice, Sparks, Real Ice-T, Jakey B, Ewan, Ablet, Antoine, Crisito, Kevar, and Perondi. Your first flying lap of the session is going to be, well, it'll be Syra in the Williams. Now, what are you expecting for pole times?
It's very, very hard to say. That will be most likely a low 24, if I'm not mistaken, for the lap times right now. But I think a low 24 will be pole time for today. And I mean, we're on board with Syra right now, and he will be the one to beat. He's out first, and yeah, basically he will set the benchmark for all the other guys to beat. So low 24, 24.3 maybe will be on the cards.
Mistake going through turn 2, charging now out of 3. Has a little bit of a wiggle on the straight. Maybe just let the car behind know he's made a little mistake. Down his turn 4, down second gear, short shift straight up to 4th for the extra traction, mounting the outside curb like a pair of lions going at it in the middle of the desert.
Ooh.
And he, I believe, has invalidated that lap. Yes, he has. So the next car behind him will be
Antoine, or it should be Antoine.
Yes, Visa Antoine in the Haas. Pick him up in turn 10. As I said, expectation will be a big lock up into turn 10. It's really, really difficult corner. As Viotti Dom and Shizu Yuan have come together. Now, I'm not sure how that's happened.
I'm
But-
not sure either.
Oh dear. Well, bless you. Let's bless you myself. Yes, here we go. But into the final corner. Now I'm expecting 24 fours, according to Mr. Alex Degger, who not really surprised. Got up to the line comes Antoine. It is a 1 minute 25.0 for your first lap of the day. Next up will be who wants to come around next? It was going to be Jackie B, but he's abandoned his lap. So instead, it is going to be XR Ablet driving the Mercedes. Oh no, it's going to be Bjorn Perondi actually with the 124.886 goes fastest in the Williams. Onto the line comes Ablet, is a 125.6 for the XRT driver. Next up, Real Icy with a 25.4. Followed by that will be Sparks with a 25.2. What else we got?
Jonas is on a flying lap right now on a second year straight. And Viper is just ahead of him, yeah, like Hyper.
Combination I don't particularly want together on track. Into the final corner will come Viper. What can the first of the year old guys do? Kevar currently is in, the second of the year old guys. Kevar with a 25.9 for his opening lap. Up to the line comes Viper at 125.1. Third fastest as it stands. Jonas just behind, failed off his lap.
Yeah, very good banker from both of the URL guys, 25.1 and 25.9. I mean, Kevar wants to improve on that time for sure, but for a banker, that's definitely okay to actually have a time on the board, because on this track it's a bit harder to invalidate your time, like we saw with Sarah just the lap before.
Oh! The devil
Oh.
and it Shadow here. Not Shadow, sorry. Sarah with nearly a big accident there. Oh dear, that could have been a monster crash. Instead, he held it on and kept himself going. Viotti Oxtez in the Red Bull now, making his way into the tricky turn 10. Will he lock up at all? Yes, he does. Big one. Just a little one on the left-hand side. But turn 10 already starting to be a little bit dangerous on the lockups. Too many of those, and well, you're gonna have tyres like 50 pence piece.
Yeah, very difficult corner to manage to go through, like you said, with the lockup and setting up yourself for maybe a possible overtake. As we have a guy that just left the session, one of the FCT guys. So Ox is coming around the final corner. Does he pick up a little bit of slipstream? No, he doesn't, but comes up to the line. Where will it blocks up 25.0, so puts himself in P2. And with a 25.0, I really expect the guys to improve their lap times right now.
Yeah, That's the time that I think can definitely be beaten. SRC ZX were 25.5, knobs himself up in the 7th place. Choosing you and just disconnected from the session, so I'm going to quickly re-invite
Yeah, and
him.
FCT La Souche, or however that's
Yeah.
pronounced. If there's some French guy that can tell me how that's pronounced, that would be great.
Eros.
Just, yeah, yeah, basically. But he's already back in the lobby, and we're on board with JKB right now, who's coming to turn 10. Let's see how he can manage that corner. Has a slight lockup on the front. Yeah, missed the apex there very slightly. Now for the next left-hander. See how he... Oh, it completely misses it. That was...
lag.
Oh.
A little bit of lag there. 1 minute 3.8 in the middle sector. No lockup into turn 14. Now a decent exit here should pell him up for a very, very decent time into the final corner. Pulling up 194, 195, 196, 197. Late braking, gets a decent amount on the curve. Rear end trying to kick out a little bit. Onto the line will come JKB. Is it fastest? Yes, it is. By 35 thousandths of a second, JKB takes fastest off. Current poleman Birel Perondi as the more drivers are now beginning flying laps as Team Maurice entering the final corner. A driver you know pretty well, races in TSR. Actually, I believe his main GT is TSR Maurice. Up to the line, 125.7 for the German. Who's coming up next? I believe BDG Pancakes shouldn't be too far away. Oh no, he's coming to the pit lane. Yep. So,
Jonas is currently on a lap, which Hyper is on board with right now. Now for this hairpin, she managed very nicely. Now coming up to turn 10 once again. Let's see if he locks up on the front left. He doesn't. Very nice line from Jonas there, opening up the DRS right now. And now he wants to take a lot of entry curb on the right hand side too. Oh, slight lockup, but I think he carried enough speed there for this corner. Is slightly down on JKB's time in the second sector. Let's see how if he can challenge JKB for pole position, for current pole position. Dom actually in P3, so a very good effort from him. Let's see where the time will stop for Jonas. It's a 24.991, and that puts him P4. And yeah, immediately his mate.
24.793. Them straight up to the top of the standings. I don't think anybody else is that far on a lap. Big lockup from Kevar as I switched on to him. I'll tell you who somebody who is on a lap. V-Syra, because of course he is. Up to the line, 124.697. Of course, but Syrah finally gets a lap and he goes straight to pole position. Because of course he did, because it's Syrah.
Yeah.
Now, Kevar was up at his time, 202nd. Currently sat in the slowest position right now, 1 minute 4.4. Got 8 tenths down on what Syra did. So we're looking at a potential 25.2. Plus from around Sparks, ZX, Real IC, that area. Let's see what he can do. 197 breaking down again. Not sure what it is about Kev, but he's not looking that confident on the brakes, which worries me a little bit. Up to the line comes Kev. It's a 125.6. Gets for the Maurice and La Souche. Well, it doesn't really pull him much up the order. Ice-D's not on a lap. However, Aero Viper is. What can Aero Viper do? Decent exit up to the line. DRX activated now. It is going to be a 124.923. Puts himself up onto the third row of the grid as it stands.
Yeah, very good effort from Viper there, and now it's getting towards the final shots for those guys. Ablet currently on a lap into the third sector. He will come after this very, very long right-hander, where you don't want to clip the inside curve because that will spin you out. He's currently up by nearly 2.5 tenths on his lap and will come up to the line. If he improves, by that he will actually only jump Ztex, who's currently P12. But let's wait and see. Maybe he lost a bit of time on his previous run. Coming up to the line is Ablet, puts himself in P12 actually, like I said before.
time there from Abilette. Not really sure he's coming up next. Ewan with a big lock up at turn 10. FCT Raven just behind him doesn't lock up into turn 10, however, doesn't take it as quickly. VRT Oxes just began a flying lap. Crescito nearly crashed. The moment, pretty quiet out on track. Somebody just improved. I believe it was Lasouche up into P12. The pretty much the front guys are in the pit lane. Jacoby just beginning a flying lap. I believe BDG... Actually, it's going to be Shizu Ewan. So Ewan entering into the final corner now. Decent final corner. Short down to third. Up and back into fourth pretty quickly. Decent exit out of the final corner. Shizu Ewan up to the line. What's it going to be? Well, it's fastest. One lap and straight to pole. BDG Pancakes on the medium tyres. What can he answer? Only 19th. For BDG Pancakes.
Yeah, not a good lap for him right now. With a 25.9, that's definitely not where he wants to be right now. And with BDG taking up 1-3 the last time out because Logic went into P2 again because of penalties that weren't really good, perfectly applied from the game. So JKB currently in 4th and Pancakes down in 19th. Surely Pancakes wants to improve, and like you said before, it's a pad track and Pancakes is on a pad. So it will be very likely that he will dip into the top 5 there.
It's actually a question from Chandler saying Marvin softs or mediums. On my screen, he's not showing up. Jacoby up to the line 124.841, improves by 100 per second. But I'm not sure it's saying this. Oh no, I was about to say it's the same for you, Miles, or not, but no, it's not because you're watching it through the stream. Crescito goes 6th fastest, but on my screen anyway, I can't see what tyres Marvin's on. So that's problematic because on many levels.
Marvin is on soft tyres.
Soft tyres, right? So he's just about to get his flying lap then. Off. So he was on the he was chilling on the mediums earlier on in the session, so. Maybe he's just going for it now. 3.5 minutes to go in the session. Perhaps this is what we call pressure time. People who are setting laps at this point, not really going for it properly. Sparks improves to a 25.0. Stands 4/10 off pole position as it stands, but outside of the top 10. SL Team release. In fact, goes to another country in the middle of there. Marvin with a decent exit. Gets himself out of turn 2 pretty comfortably. That will charge his way down. Into turn 4, gets on the outside curb. Little bit of a lock up there. Runs a little bit wide, nearly spins out on the exit as well, Marvin. Not really getting the best on the traction. 27.5 is his first sector time. Compare that to Ewan, he's just over a 10th behind with that lock up as well.
Yeah.
Not a helper's cause at all. Ira, Antoine, and others have just begun flying laps. Antoine is actually the furthest round of this group, of the main group anyway, who have just begun flying laps. So what can the VSR driver do? We'll have to find out into the final corner now. 2.5 minutes to go. Big lock up on the inside for Antoine.
2.5 tenths up on his lap, so that might be another one for shot for pole position. And
there it is.
It is 24.581. Very good lap from Antoine there.
Oh, Sarah! Oh, I was just scrolling through. Sarah nearly went to another country on the exit of turn 3. Oh, sorry, not turn 3, on the exit of turn 9. That'd probably be a good thing. Probably be a good thing for him sometimes, but well, big oversteer moment there for Sarah. His teammate Perondi charging past the corner of death. 1 minute 3.776. He's up by 16 thousandths of a second, but that was not the greatest of lines. Little bit of mistake there for him. Where can he put this Williams? Drivers just started to come out now for the final laps of the session. Big lock up into the final corner from Perondi. Charging this one. This will be his one and only lap. Up to the line. It's a 124.794. Jumps in front of Jakey Beeb, however, only up to P4. Sira, I believe, calling his tyres down to go again for another run. Aero Vipers down in turn 4. Ooh, but next to the line. Marvin is on a cooldown lap. Keva is coming through that final sector, but his lap doesn't really matter right now. So as it stands, It will be the Brazilians going at it again. Sira, however, likely going to have a little bit of traffic here, which is really not what you want at all. A minute to go, and things are about to get pretty tight.
Surely will, yeah. Sarah going for another lap on those soft tires, which is very interesting because those soft tires don't last very long on this track. Now, like you said, a lot of traffic, so Dom moves out the way very nicely there. For Sarah, who's currently down on his time and is catching, cars left, right, and center right now. So there's a McLaren of Pancakes, BDG Pancakes, who moved out the way.
Before to you, Miles. Rounding the final corner comes Zero Viper, who's bailed on his lap, which is quite surprising to be honest, because it looked like a decent time. Antoine into the pits. Zero is what we'll see in the middle sector, where he is compared to his time. My cat's trying to jump on my knee, which is really bloody irritating. Zero is down by 15 thousandths of a second. This is exactly what Antoine wants to see.
Yep.
Right out on the curb, and here comes the cheeky Vero slipstream.
He invalidated.
A little bit of cheeky slipstream. Didn't really gain much. In fact, Zero has it. Yes, he has.
Yeah,
Zero has invalidated, and that will be the end of his session. So, pretty much then, I believe, was it wide at turn 14, sorry.
Yeah, he had a little bit of dirty air from, I don't know who it was, but with a little bit of dirty air.
Oh, up with his times. Spins out the final corner.
Oh.
That's a big shame there for Keller. Ewan does not improve. Ewan does not improve on his time. I didn't realise how far around he was. Ewan then will start as best of a front row. Viper has retired. Kevin's retired. Upstairs will be one of the first to come across the line. It's going to actually be Jonas up to the line. 124.623, but the lap was invalidated. Jonas there could have got a front row. The greatest his teammate Sparks have got to absolute Narnia on the exit of turn 4. Realised he's invalidated his lap, so he will not improve. FCT Raven then will be the next up in the Alpha Tower. He's up by 4 tenths of a second. Bit of a lock up there for the Alpha Tower. It's not exactly what he needed. Now making his way down the long straight. Shifts up to 8th gear. Car's pretty much revving out on my screen, but I think that's just the engine glitch. Down into 3rd, back into 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th now, potentially, for FCT Raven. Where does he go? P13. Decent there from him. Zetex jumps up into 16th. Next up to the line will be BDG Pancakes. Can BDG Pancakes steal himself a top 10? No, only P11. JQB, however, gets Syrah. JQB knobs Syrah at the end. VRT Hogstes gets himself up into 3rd place. And that, I believe, will be the end of the session as FCT Marines comes into the pit lane. Unless VLT Dom is improving, which he isn't, he's actually lifting up his time over the line. So it'll be VSR Antoine with Shazoo Ewan, an all French front row of the grid, with Oxtez and JQB just behind. That's a decent session, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely a decent session from those guys. Syrah down at P5. He will not be happy with that, I'm sure. But yeah, what a session that was.
There's one thing we've learned over the years: you don't want an angry Syrah. Syrah starting P5 at a pad track is an angry Syrah.
Yeah, definitely is.
So,
yeah, go on.
Ross is very happy about an all French front row with Antoine and Ewan. Oxtez, JQB, that's a pretty decent row. Then, of course, the pair of Brazilians, which, well, don't rule them out. Crucito and Dom, that's a license to a fight. Then VRT Dom, then VSR Jonas. So, 1st and 10th for VSR. Seems like the best positions, however, might be going to the Brazilians. What's your thoughts on the quality there, Miles?
Yeah, like I said, decent quality from all of those guys. Dom actually with the 5 positions he will get for the collision with Ewan, I think it was.
Yes.
I actually think that Pancakes might be one to look out for the race because he will start on the medium tires, I personally think. So with the medium to hard strategy, possibly being the faster one, he might be the one to have your eyes on. He just did a banker over 25.9 and then like a safety lap to position himself very nicely. And I think Jonas will be fuming right now that Pancakes actually didn't beat him for P10. So Jonas has to start on
I
those
don't
soft
receive
tires.
the message.
Jonas will start on the soft tires, and Pancakes has the free tire choice, and I'm sure we will have a look on that.
Yeah, so let's have a little bit. Well, I'm gonna have a little bit of a nosy. That's a lot of medium tires. So basically, everybody outside the top 10 is on the mediums, apart from VLT Dom, who obviously is forced to start on the softs. So we'll see how this goes then, because I say people definitely to watch out for. You've got the three there, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Viper, Jonas, and Pancakes all could definitely charge through. Obviously the front three, if they can make a breakaway, then things might get a little bit interesting. However, those medium tires on BDG Pancakes could be a massive game changer for the run up in TSRL season 2, season something.
Yeah, definitely. And personally, I think that Pancakes will be the one who will take the victory today. So my money is on Pancakes.
You are one brave soul to predict that. Usually it's me with the stupid predictions out of us two.
Yeah, I know. But to be honest, the guys up front, the top 10, and I hope we will see the tire allocation right now on screen. If Hyper could do that, that would be great. Yeah, like
So
I
it's
said.
actually changed a little bit from what I was originally looking at. A lot of people are on hards.
Oh.
So BDG Pancakes, Sparks, Real Ice D, Oven, and Ablet all have chosen the hard compounded tyres. Mediums for Raven, obviously softs for Dom. He didn't really get a choice in that.
Oh,
Asush, ZX, Maurice, and Kevar all on the mediums. That's very interesting scenario.
I mean, actually, the Pancakes is on the hard tires that might come into play later, of course. But with those guys in the top 10 and obviously Dom, who has to start on the soft tires, they would come into the pits around lap 6, 7-ish. And that's a long way to go on those hard tires because the tire degradation on this track is pretty high.
What, on the hards? Mate, you
It
can do 17 race distances on the hards.
Not on this track. Trust me, not on this track.
I bet it's gonna go ridiculous on those hards. Somebody will make 20 laps.
There's always this one guy that will do that. Yeah, of course.
There's always that one guy. There's always that one guy, especially in commentary. Stupid predictions. Now, I'm not going to be that guy this time because instead I'm going to go quite smart. I'm just going to bet my money on Sarah. If you don't know, right, if Sarah's league racing and you don't know who to bet on, also please, if you're going to give any predictions, please give them now. You've got like 10 seconds. If you don't know who to bet on in a race, you just bet on Sarah and hope for the best. Now, I bet on Sarah once before he started 14th in Monaco and it didn't work, by the way. But in this, there's an angry Sarah. Now, angry Sarah usually equals quick Sarah, or it equals I'm going to murder somebody Sarah. So we'll see how it goes. Drivers are now lining up on the grid, getting ready to go then for what is set to be a very, very interesting Grand Prix. Lights are coming on then. We have 3, we have 4, we have 5. And we are being held for 14.3 billion years. Being held for 14.3 billion years. And we're finally underway. Antoine gets a good start. Ewan falls back a little bit. The pad clearly OP. VLT Oxtez pulls to the outside line. 3 wide in his turn 1. I think Ewan's going to have it. No, he does not. Antoine cuts in. Oxtez to the outside of the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo straight around the outside. Ewan straight up into the lead. Great start by the Shizou driver. Antoine falls in behind. And then a savage by Jakey B. Nearly an accident. Sarah Crosita Perondi's fallen back to her on Viper. Trying to jump down the east side is Jakey B. Jump Pancakes is followed by Dom. Dom's getting a 4 place off the start.
Yeah, making good work of
Be
those
there up
top
against
points.
Oxtez. He's cleared him immediately. Crucito's had a good start. Sparks and Jam Pancakes are smacking wheels. There's a bit of a bang, a bit of a whack, and a bit of a nearly an accident. FCT Raven on the mediums trying to go right around the outside of BDG Pancakes. They nearly made contact. Pancakes having to chop up a little bit. Nearly an accident. Pretty good there though. So, Ewan leads. Antoine second, Jacoby third. Oxtez fourth. Sarah fifth. Crucito sixth. Jonas seventh. 8th Perondi, 9th Viper, 10th Dom, 11th Raven, 12th Pancakes, 3rd Sparks, 14th Zetex, 15th Marvin, 16th Lasouche, 17th Maurice, 18th Kevard, 9th Ablet, 20th Icy, and I can't believe this, they've all made it through the first lap. It's a sodding miracle.
Yeah, Bahrain always good for a crash or something like that. And yeah, they did very nicely in this first couple of corners. And now Syrah might set up a move on Oxtez there, coming into turn 1. Will he send it down the inside? I'm not sure because I don't see the camera. Now I see it. He decides, yeah, not to send it down the inside on Oxtez there. Stays behind the Red Bull, and yeah, has to set his sights once again on Oxtez. I'm not sure because the DRS train will become a thing. Oh, Sparks.
And Sparks going over 40. Zetes gets a position. That was almost dangerous. Kemal's made a little bit of a mistake, falling back behind Bonisi. That's clear. Oh, it's Marvin. Well, BMG straight to the back of the field. I don't know what's happened between with Marvin there, but he's fallen straight down towards the back. Really not sure. Ice just behind him, so he's BMG right to the back of the field here. As we move on towards the end of lap 2, and immediately Adara Straight is already starting to perform. Ewan, Antoine, Jakey B, Oxtez. The problem is with the DRS train around this track is it could legitimately in-house the entire field. Because when you have a qualifying session separated by 1.1 seconds, trust me, it's going to be sodding close. Big lock up there from Jonas Brandenborg to Perondi. Antoine, fast lap of the race just behind. Now, that showed up on my screen a second ago saying a 2-stop. I really doubt the leaders are doing a 2-stop.
No, definitely.
Whoa!
They, and well, nearly a big one. Apparently, Marvin's suffering with screen freezes. oh, yeah.
Now, that's usually a connection to the host. So, hey, right, done nothing wrong. So, Ewan, Antoine, Jacoby, Oxtez, Sarah, Crescito. I think these drivers now have just settled in now, just not wanting to make things in possession. Ow, that's really loud. Discord.
I'm sorry.
So Ewan and it's fine. Don't worry about it. After reading what you just put, it'd be, hopefully that's not a continuous issue, because if it is, then that's going to affect the lobby as well. So Sarah, so Ant.
Oh,
yeah, flag in the last sector. It's SLT ZX. Oh, easy. Probably gone.
Yeah, he touched the inside curb, coming onto this fast right-hander, and was gone.
Jeff takes his first victory of the day. Will it be its last? I honestly don't know. As BDG Pancakes gets himself past FCT Raven, back up into P11. These guys have fought out a DRS train. They've been kind of had Lasouche as well. This side of Sparks, the medium tyres, seems to be working pretty well at the moment. Gets himself past the rather aggressive Mercedes driver. Doesn't go back for a move. Looks at the outside line. It's given up pretty immediately. He's only just ahead. That's what's happened there. Oh, XR Ablet. Ablet span coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, tricky traction zone there for Ablet, and he basically, I think he just lost it coming out of turn 3. Jonas very close to the back of Crescito there, so he might be the one to watch right now. Crescito just inside that 1 second window from Syrah up ahead, and yeah, on the braking zone, just calls his way back a bit more into this 1 second window. 8/10 off of Syrah. So Ben, do you think someone will go for the undercut?
How early are you talking? Because as on when you want to come in. I doubt anybody's going to be in within the next maybe 2 or 3 laps. Potentially lap 7, I think, will be the earliest we see. Maybe a little bit looking the inside there for Jonas. However, big log on Cressito actually. As I was saying that, but not enough to give Jonas a run, unfortunately. It's just a bit of a possession as we stand at the moment. Antoine's getting close to the back of Ewan, but these two friends off track, do I see them smacking into each other, going for a big lunge? I mean, when it's your team's honor on the side, I guess.
Syrah is
But
very close to the back
again,
of Oscar.
big look up there from the Brazilian. That's not gonna hamper his chances a little bit.
But
I don't really expect any rash moves. Massive lock into turn 10. To be really outdoing Oxted on the exit, the back's got a very, very good drive here. Down to the inside, and through he goes. Syrah up into P4, but crucially, does not have the DRS Zabla. It's out in the middle sector. The safety car is on, so that could be problematic. And also force everybody into the hards earlier on, does it? It's for safety car virtual.
Oh.
Virtual safety car.
And they're very close to the pits. So that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone will do it. I'm sure.
Somebody's gonna come in. The question is, what tyres will they go on to? Antoine is coming in. Antoine is making that decision to come in. Ewan stays out. JKB's in. Syrah stays out. Oxtez in. Jonas in. So some pit stops earlier on. I mean, this surely moves them onto a 2-stop. I really do not see them making it on a 1.
Someone's gonna risk
Vibrant
it.
as well. Both Rebels have double stack. So Renault have double stacked, I think.
Haas also.
Car is about to end. So Antoine have come out behind. Ewan gets a penalty of drive-through. Ewan with the drive-through. He sped under the virtual safety car. Syrah lost 2 seconds somehow.
Yeah, but is in the race lead when Ewan has to service drive-through. So yeah, fair play to Syrah there. And Ewan left the session.
Has he disconnected or is he quit out of rage?
I think.
Now, I will re-invite him. I shall re-invite him, and I will see if he rejoins. Because if he rejoins, then maybe it was legitimate disconnect. If he doesn't rejoin, then he's gonna go smash some Scotland. Yeah. So this leaves Syrah, Cressito, Perondi, Pancakes now in 3rd. Raven, then Lasouche, Maurice, Keva, Icy, Marvin, seems to have got over his laggy issues, and then Antoine just behind on the hard, Zetex on the mediums, obviously after a spin, and then Jacoby, Oxtez, Viper, Jonas, and Dom. It's just in Jonas on the mediums.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. So Jonas the only guy opting for the mediums, as Ewan's ghost car is in the pits, of course. Jonas the only one opting for those mediums from those guys coming into the pits. Now FCT Raven might set up a move on Pancakes there. Nope, doesn't.
I tell you, we set up a move. It's a barrel 1-2. Syrah sends it down. No, sir. Rondi sends it down the inside of Cressito and moves himself up in a 2nd place. BRL on a charge here.
Yeah, definitely. Perondi with a very strong showing also today, and yes, one of those guys has to pit right now. So either Syrah or Perondi. Not sure who will if Perondi goes for just to cover Cressito from behind, because I'm sure Cressito will come into the pits. And
it was a rage quit.
It was a rage quit. Yeah, no wonder.
Bunches to account, it is a rage quit. I mean, I can understand that, but here's my thinking on this. If you're gonna rage quit, okay, at least don't don't do it in a team event because it just seems to ruins your team's reputation. And one thing about this really is helping build new teams' reputations. And if you're just going to rage quit, it's really not going to help. So Sira Perondi, Japan was asking for the gaps to leader. The strategy is now open.
Both BRL guys.
Hard ties. Gap to leader for me, I'm not sure if it's showing on the stream or not, is 14 points to Antoine.
Yeah, it should be.
So,
yeah.
Neither one of them particularly going to come out very high. We'll see where Crescito comes out. Behind, in front of Dom, behind. Now, we're not sure, obviously, if these guys are going to have to stop again. But
then, very interestingly,
it'll
both
be
BRL
interesting
guys
to see.
Both BRL guys stayed out. So lap 8 and respectively lap 9, they will come into the pits, I guess, because I don't think that they will make it that long on those soft tires anymore. I mean, they are losing time to Pancake from behind.
Just looking at the state of the tires now, Syrah's don't look. Neither drivers particularly look that bad. They look like they could potentially do another lap.
I mean, one of them has to do another lap, so good for them, to be honest, as Antoine gets past Ice there for P9. Marvin very close to the back of Sparks, who can't set up a move yet. And Perondi's into the pits, so Sarah will do another lap.
That's quite smart, actually.
Yep.
Crescito, because of the pit stop thing. It's very, very smart. So, we'll see where Perondi comes out in retrospective to Crescito. Crescito's had a decent outlap.
Jonas jumped them, so and Viper jumped them as well, which is
He's in front. Perondi is in front. A big chop block up though when he came up the pit lane. Though it was quite aggressive as Marvin makes his way past Sparks up into P6.
Yeah, didn't see that on my screen, but now coming up to the back of Keva there, who seems to be struggling a lot. That's the second time off for the ERL guy in the Renault, and that was very, very close for Marvin there, hitting the back of Keva. Now, in the slipstream, maybe saving a bit of ERS for a possible overtake for on the start-finish straight.
Miles, can you just turn your audio down in your side? Because I can hear an echo playing through.
I can try.
Apologies about that. Decent exit from Marvin. However, he's not going to be able to make any impression on Kevar at the moment. If you can hear the echo on the stream, I'd like to apologise. It's just there's a big echo playing for my ears at the moment, so I'm just trying to quickly sort that out. Marvin with a decent exit, getting pretty much clear. Kevar with a little bit of a squeeze. I don't think he particularly wants to let Marvin through very much. Perhaps a little bit of bad blood there. Spox tries to send it. Sorry, that was Antoine. Spox goes in too late, smacks Kevar. As Antoine gets his way through, now will hopefully look to make his way past Marvin. Marvin doesn't defend particularly very much. Antoine chooses the outside line. I didn't particularly expect that very much. Straight around the outside, moving himself up into P4. Because now Syrah has come out behind Viper. Speaking of Viper, makes way past ZX. Up into P13.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on right now. So, yeah, Antoine with a very good run for Keva and Marvin, taking those in quick succession. And into P4, Pancakes will stay out on those hard tires for, yeah, possibly like 7 to 8 more laps. And with his next challenger being down in P9 right now, who is JKB, I think. Yeah, Antoine, yeah, just can lose it himself today, I guess.
Pretty much. I mean, it really depends on how long those tires can go, really. I think he'll get a decent amount out of them. I'm not sure about the FCT guys. Maybe 2 or 3 more laps. I can see them taking those mediums, say with Kevar. To be honest, if I was Kevar, I'd be in now, because he does not look happy with those hards. But We'll have to see. Raven getting pretty close to pancakes. Nearly spin. Slap of the race from Jonas. As he gets past. Hang on a minute, he's not really getting past. I'll tell you who's getting past. It's Jakey B on Sparks. He gives him a proper shove. This is about to end badly because that looks rough. Jakey B really shoving the Mercedes. Late on the brace goes Sparks. Tries to properly send one across his nose. Jakey B, though, gets the exit, gets the traction. Gets up in P7. That looked like it was about to be a fight. And to be honest, I like fights. But I don't like them on the racetrack because they get a bit scary.
Yeah, definitely good move there from JKB, going side by side for basically the whole 2 straights there, and passing Sparks was crucial for his race. Now he can set his eyes on struggling Kever up ahead, and then Marvin, who also has come into the pits. Now Jonas and Ice-T going side by side. Ice-T lets him go there. Now gets a lot of pressure from Oxtis just behind, who also passes the racing point there. So for Ice-T it's going to
Jonas.
the back. Oh yeah, Jonas is pushing. Of course he has to do on those medium tires. Side by side with Sparks.
Apparently Sparks damage. Up there from Jonas. Into the pits has Coleman Lasouche. The first one of the medium runners makes his way into the pit lane at the end of lap 11. He's going to fall, I think, probably all the way to the back of the field. Zetex is joining me in the pit lane. Cosito goes through. Will Dom go through as well?
Sparks has another go on Jonas.
Oh, what the hell is happening? That's a lot. Hasty Syrah. Piper going at it. Ox has a go on Sparks. Down the inside, brace very late. Big lock up to Sparks, trying to go under and over. Yes, no, he does not. Viper trying to go get past Ice-T at the moment. Now, fun fact, Ice-T was in the ERL for a little while. And things didn't go particularly very well. A little bit of contact between Viper and Ice-T. Will he go around the outside? No, he does not, because Sarah's completely sent him on them. Sarah out of shot nowhere. Completely sent it in. Round the outside of Ice-T. I tell you what.
That was a great move. That was great from Syrah.
Oh, that was absolutely phenomenal. That's what you want to see in racing. Big money send from Syrah. And Viper now has to sit behind Ice-T for another couple of corners and is probably swearing like a madman. Ice-T runs a little bit wide, sends it down the inside of turn 14. Bit of a lock-up, gets the position. I'm sorry, Perondi's with these guys as well now. That's going to be an interesting case. He came from absolutely nowhere. Syrah, that was great.
Yeah, I didn't expect Syrah to be there on the inside of those guys, and yeah, he made it thick with a brilliant overtake.
How make a move, because that was beautiful. Bit of a lock up there again from Syrah as he now sets the sight on Oxtez. It's actually what's helped him here brilliantly is it's actually with now the battle for third place with DLT Oxtez. This is the man who is currently battling for the championship. Perondi gets past Icy pretty easily. Now he'll set his sights on Viper. Now Sparks, for those who don't know, you can't see the tyre screen like I can, hasn't stopped yet. That is a crucial thing. Sparks hasn't stopped. He's just holding up these guys in the midfield.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting because CJ now gets past Icy as well.
I was just about to mention, so Sparks with his wing damage, of course he's holding up those guys behind, but he definitely is hoping for a safety car or something that would definitely help his race. And yeah, not with this wing damage. I mean, his race is basically out the window.
Oh, yeah, his race is kind of just ran. It's just built to annoy people now. Who does Ice-T race for? Ice-T race for BMG. As Raven comes into the pit lane. White Ball have to sit behind Sparks for... Oh! Jeez Louise. Down the inside. Clears Viper clears him pretty easily. Now will Perondi have a go? Yes, he does. I don't know why Sparks is defending for Perondi, but hey-oh. Coming out of the pit lane comes Raven just behind these guys. Perondi gives him one back, shoves him up onto the curb. That's credit to Perondi. I mean, he's actually pretty angry. I mean, would you, if somebody tries to force you up against the wall, I'd smack you back in the face. They with the
Definitely,
chainsaw.
Yeah,
Bit too
maybe
brutal.
a bit. But yeah, Peroni going through. Now can set his eyes on Viper, who's up ahead and is clearly off of Oxys. And in the process, Siri got past Oxys.
Oh yes, he has. Well, they call Takuma Sato the Wild Thing in IndyCar. Can I rename that to Syrah? Call him the Wild Thing. Because not sure if it's human, so we call it a thing. But we're not. But it's absolutely mental. So the Wild Thing I think works perfectly for Syrah. Sorry, Kaku, you're a phenomenal IndyCar driver. You won the Indy 500, but we're stealing your nickname and giving it to Syrah. So the Wild Thing is now chasing after Jonas, who's got Jakey B right in front of his sights. Something to note, these guys pitted on the same lap. But Jonas, because he's a bit of a muppet, went on the medium tyres. So he's probably praying for a safety car. Now, I'm not looking at the rest of the field. I don't think we'll see a safety car anytime soon. It's Jonas down the inside, up into P4. Yellow flag is 2 and 3. That was SRT Maurice down in P18. So that now promotes Jonas up to a net P2. However, he will have to stop again. Syrah took some time out of these guys then. That's actually put Oxtez now a net P... Hang on, let me just work out this order quickly. So, Antoine, Jonas, Jakey B, Syrah, Oxtez, Viper, Peroni, Crescito, Bayron, Dom, Lasouche, Kevar, ZX Maurice. Obviously, that's not including people who have not yet stopped, that being 4 drivers: Pancakes, Marvin, Sparks, and Ice-T. Jonas came in under the virtual safety car with everybody else.
On lap 5.
Lap 5. Thank you, Miles. I hope you ask him after this race why he went on mediums. And I hope the answer is the game did it.
We discussed it before, Ben, that yeah, possibly those tires don't, as someone is asking for the telemetry system, which we don't have today, unfortunately. So maybe those tires will last, Ben, to be honest. And that's, that might be the reason why Jonas opted for medium tires and, opting for the 2-stop instead of the 1-stop everyone else is doing.
Antoine is on the hard compounded tyres. So basically, everybody who pitted under the first safety car all went onto the hards. Everybody else didn't. Ice-T and Sparks now finally coming to the pits. They'll put on the mediums and just chill to the end of the race, realistically. They've pretty much sorted their race out by burying their heads in the sand and screaming, "Let me out."
Yeah, the only guys who make that work, or who made that work, were Pancakes and Marvin, basically. I mean, Marvin with the issues at the start of the race, not very helpful for him, but Pancakes might be one to watch for the end of the race. I mean, Antoine is basically gone from all those other guys. Jonas could do a phenomenal job right now and, hold JKB up and all the other guys. I mean, of course, he has to look for his own race, but, Antoine might be gone already and has that in the back. No commentator's curse, I hope.
Yeah, so with Antoine right now, it's currently looking like he just has to cruise to the end. But we've seen it in motorsport before, we've seen it in racing before, we've seen it in racing, we've seen it in all forms of sport. It's not over until the fat lady sings or the checkered flag gets flown. Well, usually it's the checkered flag. I don't think I've ever seen a race end because a fat lady singing. If you've seen that, however, that'd be a great story to tell.
Peroni coming up on the back of Viper there, going past the URL guy and up into P5 because Pancakes, Jonas, and Marvin are into the pits. So Jonas
Pancakes
definitely going for the 2-stop.
Pancakes is back out with basically where he was. He hasn't changed position at all. He's still in P8. He's got Crescito just in front of him on the hard. So realistically, Pancakes is in a good position. If he can get past Crescito, Peron, the Viper, maybe he's got a top 5 in his wings. However, anything better than that might be a pipe dream. Behind him, Marvin has a decent chance of a result here. Jonas threw his raceway by going into the mediums, unfortunately.
Yeah, it really depends if those tires might blow up, but I don't think they will. Syrah's closing up to the back of JKB, so only 8 tenths for between those guys right now. Pancakes might have the problem of the DRS train, which Crescito just stripped out from Viper up ahead. So yeah, if Pancakes is lucky, then Crescito might not have the DRS off of Viper and can get past him very quickly. And then definitely a top four. I mean, even Oxtis could be on the boards for Pancakes.
That's one of the things to look out for, is whether the tyres can make it for these guys. According to Callum Teasdale in the chat, Syrah and Oxtez fighting for the win essentially. Oxtez isn't, because Oxtez came in the same lap as Antoine and JKB. Brewer's gone BDG Pancakes on Crescito. He sent it a little bit late to turn one, however, he got the move done pretty easily.
Oh, that was close a bit. I just watched it on the replay.
Yeah.
Crescito had to give up the position there basically, and yeah, now
Viper's really struggling. Oh, and that's not going to help him. Really quick in the moment. These two come together, this could completely change the complexity of the race. I really hope they don't come together, mainly because I'm mates with the both of them, and that will be awkward. I can't even cheer anybody on because that's illegal. That game's closing to the back of Viper. It must be so hard for you because there's so many TSR guys in this race. And Viper smartly just lets him go through.
I was just about to ask where Viper went, but he was just letting him through.
To give Viper credit to that, bothering risking any damage with Pancakes. Instead, he can just try and stick on his bum.
Yeah, maybe very. Yeah, I know.
Saying.
We all know what you mean.
Yes.
Just say,
Syrah's JKB. Syrah is through up into P2. And he go chase down Antoine now. Gap 7 seconds. Now I've not seen anything about penalties come up. I'm gonna have to double check that in a little couple of seconds.
I don't think they did. But I mean, Bahrain is a very, very difficult track to get a warning on, so I don't think they.
Well, to be fair, the top two are both sat on 2 warnings.
Oh, okay.
Kibi is scot-free, Oxhead is scot-free, Brondi is scot-free, Gigs is scot-free, Viper is got a warning, Crescito is 2 warnings, Raven is scot-free, and Dom is 3 warnings, so I presume he's had a collision at some point. What tyre is Antoine on? Antoine is on the hards. But his tyres are 12 laps old.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that now. Yeah, 10 to 11 laps. I mean, very close to only 10 laps to go. Syrah 6.6 seconds. Yeah, yellow flag.
Has on middle sector. Decided just to leave his car, pretty much just chilling. Pancakes is right there with Brondi now. Yeah. Oh, hello! Antoine's in! Antoine is in the pit lane! Andy has a 5-second time, but he's speeding in the pit lane. Oh boy! I didn't expect pit stops, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to mention. That was exactly what I was about to mention. Yeah, of course. He has to go on the mediums.
And take the softs.
No, those softs are just like, they are good for 3 laps and then they're gone.
He's behind Marvin. He's going to be out the points. The race leader has fallen from the race lead after 1 pit stop all the way down to P11 behind him. Will JKB, Jonas has got a time penalty. Will JKB and Oxtez stay out? Syrah has just been handed this race win, potentially on a platter. And Pancakes is going to get a sonic podium, and I don't know how.
Yeah, not so bold call anymore, I guess, from me at the beginning of the race, with Pancakes being up there. But yeah, Syrah was very, very smart not to pit on the VSC. I mean, of course, you gain a lot of time there, as my computer is just doing some random thing. You gain a lot of time there, as Pancakes is setting up a move on Oxus right now for the main straight.
Be in the DRS of Syrah. However, I'm looking at those tyres, and they're already starting to fold. Now, if this ends badly, if we end up with punctures, bearing in mind a couple of days ago in WR, this man I'm currently riding on board with BDG Pancakes lost the race win because he tried to go 28 laps on a set of hard tyres. I know it's a different story because these guys came under the virtual safety car for that, but could we see another big result lost because of a puncture?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a reason why Antoine pitted for another set of mediums, and yeah,
no
JKB
choice.
was JKB was in the pits at the same time, and so was Oxtis. So I definitely can see those guys coming to the pits once again.
Zero warnings. Sarah has 2 warnings. Thanks. Antoine clearing Dom pretty much just on the exit there, P9. Yeah, Sarah on 2 warnings. Jab Baggins is completely free. And now you see just JKB's just lost 4 tenths to Sarah in a lap. Is he having to go into tyre management phase? Is he having to save those tyres?
Yes, definitely. I mean, he also saw that Antoine was pitting, and maybe he even then checked his tires as well. So I can see him being in tire.
It's too big of a loss right now. Gates for the fastest lap of the race. That's going to be an eye-opener for Sarah. Sarah last lap was a bit of sabotosing. It was a 129.4 compared to Pancakes with a 128.4. He's his second a lap faster as he is now entered the DRS of JKB. We're in for one hell of a little bit of a race now. This could get very interesting at the end. Vinci Mag is 2 knots down in the first sector. Sarah was with a personal best first sector. This is pushing. What we want in racing.
Yeah.
My penalty, he's down in P11. VRT not particularly had the best of days. I mean, they still score 12 points with Oxtez. At the moment, maximum point, well, not maximum points, but a very good haul of points are going to go to BRL's camp. But that could change very quickly as the 2 BDG drivers swap over. Pancakes up in a second place in front of JKB. Oh, boy.
Now it's getting very, very spicy on track. I mean, there's still 7 laps to go for those guys, and I can see Pancakes running away with this race. I mean, Sarah has nothing to answer.
No.
Those hard tires are not up for the challenge for those mediums.
It's going to be Sarah 11 lap hold hards, Pancakes 4 lap hold mediums. This is going to be a potential dogfight. And I love it. JKB 6 seconds behind. Jonas has just cleared Dom up into P12. Hang on, there's not got a puncher. No. He's done 15 laps on those tyres. He's coming into the pit lane. That's VLT Dom, who was one of the ones that came under the virtual safety car. He's coming into the pits. Maurice, I think it was ZX, has had a spin down in P16 now. That's a shame for him. He's actually Ewan's AI's just been lapped. I think Antoine should be able to still salvage a good result here.
Yeah.
I doubt Crescito's going to hold him up very much. ZX is retired in the pit lane. Crescito's going to hold him up very much.
Raven is very close to the back of Viper there. Oh, and just made a mistake there. Saw on the timer screen.
Yeah, so Antoine, he's got Crescito in front of him. Crescito, as I said, I really doubt it's going to hold him up. So, but we'll see. I mean, the racers, they are racing free sports teams. Shazoo at the moment are only going to be scoring with Crescito only 4 points, which he had told me after their qualifying was going to be the case. That's pretty surprising. Gap 1.4 between the top 2.
Yeah, Antoine very close also to the back right now of Crescito, like you said.
Just sat watching it at the moment. As Crescito, I told you they wouldn't hold him up very much. Crescito lets him through. Up into P8 goes VSR Antoine. Will now set his sights on FCT Raven and here are Viper. And I've got a feeling Viper might not be so willing to let Antoine go through.
Yeah,
all the penalties. Warnings for Sarah, scot-free for Pancakes. Raven to the outside on Viper, they bang wheels. A little bit of contact there. Viper holds on though, as now Antoine has come into the fight. And
Yeah.
this is where things about to get a little bit interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know
Antoine
if
rubbing
JKB
his
streaming
hands
his
there.
race. I think he is. Question from, who was it? Wafer. Yeah, I believe he is streaming his race. Look for Jake. Just go to his Twitter.
Yep.
So 310's Brondi is also with Oxtez in a battle for P4. This race isn't over across the field because JKB's as well to come back to Oxtez, despite them being on the same age of tyres. It's all getting a little bit interesting. Big lock up by FCT Raven. Nearly contact with Antoine. As the gap in the front, 0.6 of a second. I'm going to have to cut to that in a second. Antoine gets through past FCT Raven. Now to the front of the field. Pancakes is there with Sarah. I have never got the opportunity to properly commentate a battle between BDG Pancakes and V-Syra, and I'm glad to get the opportunity now. It's all on the line. BDG and BRL.
And apparently,
Really?
JKB's tires are about 60% each. So that's not a good thing for him.
That's not a good sign at all. Sarah was defending on the pit straight. Interestingly, Pancakes didn't even bother to try and go for the slipstream. Is he going to go for a Tyrrell Martin move and wait for the very, very last lap? One of my best battles I've ever had the privilege of commentating on. Antoine has got past Tyrrell Viper for P6. As I was saying, one of the best battles I've ever had the privilege of commentating on. We've got more battles. Perondi down the inside of VRT Oxtez for P4. I can't get my words out at the moment. This stats being fantastic. Through has got Perondi to P4. That's a big move. BRL now are scoring 37 points. That's a huge number to take out of a race.
Yeah, breathe,
Right.
man.
Wouldn't have got a breath.
Get a
Just have
breather, yeah.
four.
Pancakes
Double.
very close to the back of Sarah there. Up at the front, I'm sure he will just harvest his ERS right now and then send it down on Sarah because, yeah, Sarah has nothing to answer, basically. Those medium tires will be the better ones until the end right now. And, yeah, Pancakes makes good work of that right now.
Split.
Yeah, but the battle for P7 isn't over either, and we also have to.
Raven's there.
Yeah, we also have to think about the tire wear of everyone else.
It's true.
Oh,
And here we go! Pancakes to the lead! Pancakes takes the lead off V-Syra. Syra doesn't bother to defend. It's pretty straightforward. And that means that Pancakes leads here in Bahrain from 11th on the grid. He's performed the perfect strategy. And now will look to set himself up to a pretty easy win. As now Raven has cleared Viper. But earlier, Crucito's come out of nowhere. Now he's trying to get in position. Viper's fallen to P9 with TSR Marlin behind. How cruel will it be for how good for Marvin will it feel to take the position of Viper in this race? I mean, I'm not sure how Michael reacts. I'll probably blow up. To the outside will go Marvin. Trying to go around the outside. Not able to make the move. Cuts underneath. Goes for the move. VRC Dom retires at the session. He's retired on right nose, trying to the pit lane quite smartly. Marvin looking all over the back of Viper. It's not going to happen quite yet. Perondi's all over the back of Jakey B for the last step of the podium. Tyres must be made out of absolute blue right now. Must be made of rubber right now, literally. Well, they are made of rubber. What am I talking about? Must be made out of the carcass.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
I was just about to mention the gap from JKB to Syrah, which are 6 seconds. So Jakey just managing his tires to the end. Nothing to do. Nothing else to do for him.
Has fallen out of DRS of BDG Pancakes. That pretty much suggests that battle is over. Crescito and Raven have pretty much gone quiet. Perondi's there with JKB now. Not going to be able to make the move as it stands, but he's definitely in the equation. They get a flag down at the first corner. I'm not particularly sure why.
Dom's ghost car.
All right, that makes sense. Great exit for Perondi. As the era comes on JKB, will he go for the move down his turn 4? Be a bit bold, he'll be a bit brash. Doesn't go for it, gets close to the back end. Forces a lock up on the McLaren. Don't quote me on that, O'Neill. Do not quote me on that. Quote me on made out of rubber line. No. I've just had a really horrible thing come into my head as well. I'm not going to say it because that's typical my head.
Yeah.
This is absolutely brilliant for the end of a race. But wow, this is getting interesting. Rodney 3.5 tenths behind JKB. JKB might be able to steal a little bit of, well, might be able to steal DRS here from the Ghost Car review. At least he'll pray.
Very close to Oxters as well, so a lot of stuff happening at the end of the race.
Antoine might still be able to steal a podium here, because look how close he is. If he sends it, oh, I thought he was gonna send it. My voice is fried. 74% on the inside. We'll go VSR Antoine up into P5, and now Perondi switching to him. Does the nearest of the Ghost Car? No, it does not. Here comes Biro Perondi down the inside, up into P3. If he can make it stick on the corner, yes, he does. Perondi up into P3, and he's ahead. I'm on for a double BRL podium. It's still 33 points for the BRL crew, which will help them astoundingly in the championship if Antoine doesn't steal this podium. And for God's sake, I really can't hope he does! Moment of Viper! Way too close to call. Yeah, I am loving this. I am absolutely loving this.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of battles going on, and that's exactly what we want to see.
Antoine can get JKB, might just be able pretty much clear.
Oh, he stays behind. Decides to stay behind, so
from Perondi still. He hasn't broke the DRS! From Antoine. Both of these drivers absolutely skint on ERS. Going to be shopping at Poundland for ERS soon. Looking to the inside goes Antoine. Will JKB force any sort of defense? Probably have to, just for the simple fact of the factors. And he caught in the back of him. He hit the back of him twice. He hit the back of him 3 times. JKB is going to steal the DRS though from Ewan's Ghost Car. No, he does not. Through goes VSR Antoine. He didn't get DRS. He didn't get DRS. He just hasn't got the speed on the straight. But he's through into P4. Can he steal the final podium position of Perondi on the last lap? Jonas and Marvin going at it. This is TSR going at it here. Oh, surely you should be the one commentating. Listen properly in German. This is through.
Probably, yeah.
Marvin is ahead. Sorry, Jonas is through. Marvin behind. Big lock up for Jonas. Can he steal any sort of points from Viper or Quisito? We'll have to find out. BDG Pancakes in the middle sector. Antoine is right there with Perondi. The battle for the final podium position might still be on. JKB's tyres must be absolutely finished. They do not look in good health at all. Yeah. He's crawling. Oxtez is just locking up. That was just one big lock up. That's one. Can he really
We have to remember though, Antoine has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so it's only for the on-track thing.
JKB's gone! JKB's got a puncher!
Oh.
Tyre has gone!
Yeah, no surprise. But Pancakes coming around the final corner, so...
Hello, yes! BG Pancakes up to the line, takes victory!
Antoine side by side with Perondi into the final corner. And he's got him.
Yes! Mr. Antoine takes P3, and FCT Raven's got Oxtez as well. Raven has stolen off Oxtez. Can he get P5 as well? Yes, he can, Oxtez!
P4. Oh,
Raven crossed the line first. That's the timing screen glitch. Raven crossed the lines first. He will get the final result.
Yeah.
Viper somehow got P7.
And
P8. P9.
Oh.
Cito P10. Lasush P11. Got a feeling again something's happened there with the timing screen. JKB P12. 13 the Euro Keeper. Fourth will be Real Ice-D. And 15th will be SRT. Maurice, I'm not sure I'm at the end again between Viper, Marvin, and Jonas. I wonder if that was a timing screen issue. To find out. Well.
Whoa, what a race it was. What a race that was. Bit of everything, I would say.
Yes, indeed. After the final 3 results now, but there's the podium. If Hyper's put it on.
Yeah. We have.
I don't watch the podium celebrations. I hate them. I refuse every time they come on. So, right. So, your final results then. BDG Pancakes picking up victory here, representing for Brutal Democracy. Second representing BRL Prondi in third. VRT Oxford's fourth. FCT Raven with a fantastic P5. BSR Anton without time penalty, unfortunately dropping it down to P6. Aero Viper P7. TSR Marvin in P8. Soyanas P9. 10th Shizuku Crescito. 11th FCT Lasouche. JKB. 13th Aero Kiva. 14th Real Icy. 15th SLT Maurice. 16th Shizu Ewan. 17th VLT Dom. 18th SLT ZX. 19th Sparks of 1. 20th Ablet. A bad day in the office. XRT. So, Miles, is there anybody there who... Well, first of all, who's your driver of the day? Second of all, and if it's not BDG Pancakes, you're wrong. Second of all, what was your overall takes and comebacks from the race?
For the first question, of course, it has to be Jam Pancakes or BDG Pancakes, what he's now called. I want to say I called it at the beginning of the race that Pancakes will be one to watch for the race win, which he did. The race was phenomenal. Bahrain never fails to amaze, you could say. And yeah, so many battles, so many strategies. The virtual safety cars, basically, throwing today. Nothing more to add.
Well, I think that's kind of all we've really got time for. So I apparently need to hand back to Hyper.
Yes,
On
you
Central
do.
Island.
You do need to come back to me. Hello there. What a race it was, though. And that was a astounding race. I was just sitting here, of course, being the broadcaster and all. And there's so much happening, especially near the end. So many overtakes, so many brilliant moves. But there was, I can't remember who. You guys have to remember. I think it was one of the Williams near the start. That double overtake near the start. Do you remember? Syrah. Absolutely astounding overtake to put himself in such a good position.
Well, I mean, just the overall overtake. I mean, that is going to be a contender for this year's overtake of the overtake of the year award presented by GT Omega. That's going to definitely be a contender, and I really hope it's one of the final ones. I've not seen a better overtake. I mean, I wasn't even on board with Syrah. I was on board with Fox, and I just see this Williams just flying it out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell is that? You probably heard in my reaction to commentary. It was pure astoundment. Somebody was able to send it from that far back. I mean, overall, Syrah had a great race, but that move, I think, was the icing on the cake for him.
A brilliant move as well, but then coming down, you said about tyres were a problem, and we definitely saw that coming near the end of the race. But one thing you mentioned was the people who started on mediums, they ruined their entire race. So going from the softs to mediums, you said that ruined it. Do you still stand by that after seeing this race now?
Yes.
Yep.
The people who came in under that virtual safety car in that race, especially Jonas. Jonas looked to have a very, very decent race. If he'd gone onto the hards, he would have been a net P3. And yes, we saw a lot of late race fall off, especially with the guys who came in. However, realistically, it didn't make that much of an impact.
Fair enough. Oh, sorry. You lagged out there
It was
for me.
It was still great to see.
Well, that would be all. I do believe we're heading over to China next week, aren't we?
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, we're going to head to China. A beautiful track and a track that holds a lot of flowing corners, doesn't it?
Yeah, the middle sector is an absolute tyre murderer. The snail section, or the Max Chilton section, as it was once christened. The long right-hander, basically, in the last sector, that could definitely be an interesting point, as the traction zone is actually quite difficult. Also, the hairpin, trying to get the traction down out of this. You'll see a lot of drivers short-shifting to save fuel out of there as well. In the final corner, we saw an incident in a social race that I commentated. I think with you, Mars? I think it might have been.
Possibly.
An incident happened between BDG Pancakes and Tiro Limitless. So this is quite an easy track to have contact at, and we'll definitely see a great race next week.
Well, hopefully that you are there again, and hopefully you are Miles. We'll see you guys next week. Any last words from you two? Start off with you, Miles.
Beautiful race. Nothing more to add.
And what about you, Ben?
Nothing to add here. I've said my piece.
And I've got to say, absolutely sterling race. I hope to see you all next week as we'll be heading over, as I said, to China. Thank you all for watching, and good night.